Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to Disarranged Talk Show. Joining you live from B More and the D, your hosts, Matt and Andrew. Please like, subscribe, and comment.
Hey, got him. You know, one thing I just noticed is they say my name before yours.
Dude, I've noticed that since the guy sent it back to us.
I bet you have. It's funny. I just noticed that.
I was like, so when the guy sent it back to us for like the proofing or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I picked up on it, and then I was like, "Yo, that's dope," because I heard like the ting 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 ting. Welcome, Disarranged. I was like, "Oh, this is the dopest shit." I was like, "Yeah," and then like I hit like approve or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Picked up on it as soon as he sent it back. The final shot.
That was God's will, pal.
God's will
that happened.
Right. What do we got? Looks like we got Daniel McDonough and Andrew Rodriguez. What's going on, guys?
What's up, fellas?
We got Derek on. Is that Derek over there?
Derek Smith. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us. So what do you say, pal? You ready to rock this show or what?
Let's do it.
All right, give me the driver's seat, buddy. I got things to say. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Disarranged Talk Show, your one-of-a-kind live show written, organized, and filmed by your very own veterans, Matthew and I, working as change agents, seeking to break down the stigma of surrounding mental health in hopes to empower our community and the society at large. We are the conduits between trauma and failure, healing and success. Disarranged is a platform for both military and non-military individuals to connect in a safe and supportive environment. So I thank you all for joining us. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe on whatever platform you are, and be sure to check us out on our YouTube page at Disarranged Talk Show. So thank you very much for your support. We have a great show planned for everybody tonight, bringing up the topic of time management and the importance of having time management in your life. I can tell you that basically I'm probably one of the worst time management people out there. I suck at it. I identify it, and I'm excited that we kind of started working on this show, Matt, because it kind of started giving a little bit of tools of how to move forward and try to just be a little bit better, right? So we're just trying to strive to be a little bit better at what we do. And we hope that this topic compels all you guys out there to try to look into time management skills and best practices to see what fits for you. But before we get into all that, dude, I just want to say I miss you, bud. How are you? It's been a long freaking week. Get us side by side so we can bud. A little bit, pal.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. I'm doing okay. I'm glad it's Friday. It was a long week for both of us.
Yeah,
just catching up from coming off the holiday break. Work's been freaking nuts, dude, and it's been a crazy week. It's been a draining week. So, but tonight is our 50th episode.
Yeah, but the big 50, man. We did it. 50. Yeah. Well, it was cool though. So last year we were like, dude, one a week, we want to try to get 52 by the birthday. Yeah. Reality kind of sit in over the year and realize that it's pretty hard to plan,
it's very hard.
And shoot a live show every single week.
Yeah. The amount of knowledge that we've gained over this past year and 50 episodes is it's amazing, what we've learned about doing this, but just the simple fact that we've been doing this for 50 episodes is pretty fucking awesome. Excuse my language.
Yeah, there's really no what else to say, dude. It's cool.
Yeah.
Life's crazy. Shit. Life can be crazy up to the moment you're about to do something. And this show for me has been a very good release. It's been a good escape.
Yeah.
I know that this is going to be something for us. I don't care about anything else other than that. So, because I know if it's good for us, it's gonna be good for everybody, and we're gonna be able to touch a lot of people. So, let's hop into it, man. I've if this is your first time joining us, this is probably one of the cooler segments of the show. Matt, let's hop into it. Let's rock and roll.
And now your news and current events with Matt G.
That's right, ladies and gents. It is the season wrap up. We've missed a little bit of our target on picking the NFL games. I'd like to say that I'm sorry for that, but I'm not. It just didn't work out. But I tell you, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the NFL season, the playoffs. I'll probably spend most of the time talking about my Detroit Lions, who are freaking awesome. But I want to get into what happened in the last week of the season. A lot of stuff happened, a lot of drama, right?
Okay.
We got the playoffs set in the NFC. In the first seed, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. In the second seed, and Philly gets a bye, so they don't play this week. They're automatic bye their first seed.
Okay,
so they don't play.
Philly doesn't play this week.
Philly does not play this week. Number 2 seed, San Francisco 49ers, play the number 7 seed, the Seattle Seahawks, who are piles of dog shit. They're only there because of the Lions. They don't deserve to be there, and they suck. The number 3 seed is the Minnesota Vikings. They also suck because the Lions kicked their freaking ass. Is playing the number 6 seed, the New York Giants, who also suck because the Lions kicked their freaking ass too. Then the number 4 seed
by the Lions, bud.
Hey, bud. It's happened this year. I've been waiting to talk about this. Number 4 seed. I'm not even looking at the comments. I don't give a shit, so you can save it. The number 4 seed, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are playing the number 5 seed Dallas Cowboys, which I can't wait to see because I already know Dallas is going to play Tampa, who has been downtrodden all year, and they're going to lose, which is going to be awesome. So if you're a Dallas fan, sorry. Now let's skip over to the AFC. KFC or KC in the AFC is the first seed.
When did Colonel Sanders get a football?
Right. Yeah, so they don't play this week, just like Philly. They have a bye as well. Number 2 seed Buffalo Bills face the Miami Dolphins, which is going to be, and this is probably a one and done for Miami because they lost their quarterback Tua. He had really 3 concussions in the past month and a half or so. So I don't even know if he'll play football again. It's pretty sad, but he's not going to be there, so they're probably going to lose. Number 3 seed Cincinnati Bengals, the defending AFC champions, are playing the Baltimore Ravens, the number 6 seed, and Baltimore is probably a one and done because they don't have Bruno's here. They don't have they don't have Lamar Jackson. The number 4 seed, surprise, a real big surprise, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They won their division this year. They're another team like the Lions. They're young. They're fiery and competitive, even though the Lions kicked their ass too. They're playing the number 5 seed, the San Diego Chargers. So it should be an really exciting weekend. And then I'm just looking for some good football. What I want to talk about though is I'm proud of my freaking Lions, man. We went into Green Bay when we already knew we were out of the playoffs. We freaking took the football, shoved it up Aaron Rodgers' cocky ass.
Yeah.
Sent him home to go freaking do his yoga or whatever freaking crap he does. And it was awesome, man. It was a cold night. It was totally set up for Detroit to lose like they would in the past years. And they went in there hungrier than Green Bay, and they just took it to them. It was freaking awesome. I can't wait for next year. Again, I'm not even reading the comments, so you can save all the crap you're saying about the Lions. But so I'm excited. This is the most wide open field for the playoffs and for the championship I've ever seen, right? Like everybody says KC or Buffalo. I think it's anybody in the AFC. The NFC sucks, but any of these teams in the AFC can win it. Even Jacksonville, they're pretty damn good. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Say something about your Lions.
Yeah, please.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy because I just know that you and all the other Lions fans out there have just been waiting for it, like at least a 50 over 500 season.
Let me tell you something. I grew up watching the Lions. I grew up listening to my dad swear profusely at the TV.
Really?
Well, anybody who watched the Lions would swear profusely at the TV. I mean, just watching them inventing the most incredible ways to fuck up a game, and they've done them all. I mean, they literally have found every way in the book to lose a game.
Yeah.
And this year, something just changed, man. They actually found ways to win games. It's just exciting. It really is. It's exciting. So,
well, I'm happy for you, buddy. I'm
thanks,
happy.
brother.
Yeah.
Now, if they come out next year and go they go 2-15,
come on. You think it's going to happen? You think it's going to happen?
I don't think there's. I don't. I don't believe it's going to happen. I think we're on the right path. So
no, but I'm saying no. You didn't hear what I said.
Oh,
you think that they're going to have? They're technically having a winning season right now, correct?
They finished the season with 9-8 records, so they had a winning season.
So they had a winning season. When was the last time that the Lions had a winning season?
5 years ago.
So you think after a 5-year hiatus of them breaking that, they're going to go back-to-back years of having a winning season?
Are you trying to be an ass?
I'm asking a question. I'm just saying statistically, it's probably not going to happen, pal.
I think things are. Listen, dude, don't fuck with me on this. All right, they're going to be fine. They're going to win. So they're going to be fine. But right. Yes, I do believe they're going to win next year. I believe they'll be in the playoffs. So. And
then what do you say? Year 3, they'll be in the Super Bowl.
They might be there next year. I don't give a shit. I'll step out and say, dude, I don't care. F all your teams out there. Lions are coming for you. I care less.
Oh, Matt's in a Lions mood tonight.
Hey man, I've been waiting a long time to talk shit. So yeah, I've spent many years just the laughing stock. James Taylor, if you're watching this with your shitty ass Cowboys team, you can get it too. Lions got it for all you MFers, so I can't wait.
So, all right, what else? What else you got?
Sorry,
is it more Lions stuff?
I've been waiting a long time, bud. I was thinking about this all week. Anyway, next up, we got a story that a person that we've touched on
a couple times
at least, right? Brittany Griner. Yeah. Recently released from Russian prison after she was charged and convicted of bringing drugs into the country. And we negotiated essentially with terrorists and sent a international arms dealer free for her to come home. So
how did she make the headlines on this show again?
Okay, so I came upon this wonderful story. She was honored recently. She plays for the Phoenix basketball team. I'm not sure what the WNBA team.
Who?
The Phoenix team for WNBA. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I know that the Suns. Yeah. So Arizona decided to name her the Arizonian of the year. Now, some might think this is not that big of a deal, right?
But this is state recognition.
It's a state recognition, and it's the same recognition that was previously given to the late Pat Tillman, who is if you don't know who Pat Tillman was, he played for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, wasn't he a service member?
He was, but he was
with the long hair.
Yes, he was also a fantastic safety in the NFL. He went to Arizona State. He played for the Arizona Cardinals, and he churned. What's up?
Was he Special Forces?
Can I finish?
Okay, sorry.
I'm just trying to talk.
I'm hyper now. I know who this is.
All right, so yes, I'll get to that. But he turned down at least a $5 million contract. His brother was an Army Ranger. 9/11 happened. He turned down the contract at the height of his career and joined the Army. Joined the Rangers with his brother, and went and died in Afghanistan.
Jesus.
So,
wow,
that's Pat Tillman. He has a statue outside of.
And he was the last one to receive that award, and then now.
No, he wasn't the last one to receive it. It just got people up in arms because it was also an honor given to someone like Pat Tillman, and people are kind of wondering why the hell. Yeah.
How do you so?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of wrap your head around that. It's you can't just leave well enough alone and just say, okay, yeah, welcome home. You know,
let me say this? This is the same idea with having freaking Bruce Jenner as the female of the year, when there's been women all over this country that have been influential, whether it be in business, politics, you name it. There's been awesome freaking women paving the way for that opposite chromosome. And so that's how I look at it. When you just tell me she just won an award, dude, it's like when I found out that Jenner won the female of the year, this is the far left just throwing in their tactics, dude. I'm sorry. I hate to bring in politics to this, but are you kidding me?
I think it
Don't
just
tell me you don't. They're going to use her as a political pawn. Watch.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's
the only reason she got out of jail. She sold her soul to get out of jail. Promise that.
Just like the rest of them, pal. Listen, it's just, to me, political or not, it defies common sense, right?
What did she do so great to be someone of recognition for the year? What, you sat in prison?
She survived the Russian prison.
Wow, that's cute.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember my first time in a Russian prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude,
I didn't get an award.
Dude, and she's not even like, oh, you know what? Actually, I did see online. It's now that we're talking about her, and I hate to even keep going on about it. But did you see online there's a video circulating around with her and her shirt off?
Oh, God, dude, why did you tell me that?
Well, listen, and she's shooting a basketball around the pool. And they've got like on the edge of the pool, they have the basketball, and she's going, and they're shooting it, and someone's filming her. She's got her shirt off, but she looks like a man.
Well, she's athletically built.
No, when I tell you, I mean, all right, it could have been edited. Whoever edited it was freaking spot on, though.
Well, I mean, she's not. I mean,
it was a man's chest. It was a man's physique, and she was shooting the ball, hitting it. Do you think she's a man?
I don't know.
Did I throw you?
Honestly, I don't really care. That I'm not concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the. I mean, she's built. Most of those girls are built manly. You know, this is a topic I'm not getting into, but anyway, this is that's news and current events with Matt G. There you go.
That's awesome. So listen, let me ask you this. Thank you very much for sharing the current events, man. That's good stuff. This Brittany Grant, I'm just kind of tired of talking about her a little bit. Just, anyways, I can't believe it. Congrats, proud of you. But I do have to ask you a question. Now we're talking about time management. I want to kind of get into the guts of the show. Is that cool?
You're the host, pal.
Hey, guy. Don't be putting that on me. Let me ask you seriously, though. Have you ever heard the story of the professor and the 1 gallon jar?
No.
If you never heard that analogy. All right. So there's a professor who showed his students. He's got a large class of students. He has an empty 1 gallon jar that's filled, or excuse me, it wasn't empty, but he had it filled with large rocks. Mm-hmm. And then he asked his students, he says, hey, like, is this jar full? And it was filled right to the top. And of course, everybody was eager to answer yes. The professor then proceeded to take out a sack of small marbles, added them to the jar of large rocks, shook it all around until it settled. The professor then, proceeded to ask everybody, is this jar full? There was a little bit of a hesitation throughout the classroom a little bit, but reluctantly everyone said, yes, it's full. The professor shook his head and he says, okay, and then pulled out a sack of sand, proceeded to fill the sand with the large rocks, the smaller pebbles, and then put the sand. And he shakes it all around until it's even to the very, very top. And then once again, the professor asks, it says, class, is this jar full? Well, then one student stands up and says, no. Professor brings out a pitcher of water, pours the pitcher of water into the jar to fill it to the complete top. The professor then, in front of the class, stands and says, what was the idea behind this illustration? And one of the students jumped up, very eager, and says, I got it. No matter how full your schedule is, you can always fit more, and there's always you can always, do more things.
Right.
And sounds like a friggin' legit answer,
Yeah, that's a good one.
So the professor's like, no. The point that I was trying to illustrate is that you do not have, if you do not put the big rocks in first, you'll never get them all in. If you fill the jar first with the pebbles or the sand or the water, you'll never have room for the large rocks. If you allow small things to take up the time, then you'll never accomplish the bigger things in life. So when I heard this, I was like, holy shit, like I really want to talk to Matt about this, because it's one of those things that you could hear the same thing your whole life. As soon as it's changed just a little bit, and it's a little bit, it hits you a little bit different. You're like, oh my God, like I've been doing it completely wrong.
Right.
So the idea behind the story was to figure out what the highest priorities are that you have in your life.
Sorry, Bruno's snorting up a hairball.
Oh, it's okay, bud. He's part of the show. But basically, it's to try to figure this out and try to break it all down, is to figure out the highest priorities that you have, and then do your best to work through those things that move toward that goal, right? So once you have your goal related activities scheduled, you can fit the time with those other activities that are less important, but that are still need to be done, right? So the idea of, so for me, man, like where I really struggled in life in general, especially transitioning, is I always thought that the smaller things for me, I needed all these smaller little things to make me feel better. And then I could go and tackle the bigger problems in life, and the problems that I have, that I've created in my journey or whatever.
Right.
But just, reading this story and hearing about it, it kind of just, it was kind of like a simple reminder to not neglect the larger things in life, and then that time management and prioritizing your daily activities can help manage the transition and recovery for veterans. Right.
Absolutely.
Again, I am not the best at this. I'm not sitting here saying that I know exactly what I'm doing or anything like that, bud. But I mean, I didn't prioritize my week properly, and I'm in shambles now dealing with it, up until the show.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I was going to say, I think time management is something that everybody deals with, right? But I think that, speaking from a veteran perspective, it's extremely hard, at least for myself. It's another transition nightmare, because in the military, your time is managed to the bathroom break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
It's kind of an open-ended. Do you think that time management in the military and time management in the civilian world are two different feats?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
You bastard. Yeah. So there's so many more unknown variables in the real world. That's where I think it's different. Like in the military, pretty much all of the variables are controlled, right?
And any bullshit's taken away.
Right. Like, I mean, it's pretty, you're pretty dug in. So like every once in a while you get kind of some stuff out of left field or whatever, but the mission is the mission.
Right.
Right. And in the real world, man, like you could have your whole freaking day planned, all this wonderful stuff. And, someone you love has a heart attack and dies, or your car freaking blows up, or, and just, like all this stuff that you're dealing, and then, you got to go to work. And in the military, it doesn't matter, because you're going to work either way. You know what I mean? Yep. So, I just think that there's a lot more unknown, a lot more areas that you don't control,
For me, Matt, I thrived in the environment of the military so much, just because the little shit of the day to day was taken away from me. Right. I knew what I was wearing. Right. I knew what or where I was eating, essentially. Right. I knew my days were all planned for me.
Yeah.
All I had to focus on was being the best Marine, or being the best version of myself that I could, and training hard. Right. That's all they cared about.
Right.
So, making the transition out here, and then, no matter how long you've been on the journey of being a civilian after the military, you're always going to have a black and white when it comes to the difference, right? Like, in trying to figure out how you move out here. It's very tough, dude. And it's something that I know is probably one of my biggest downfalls. I go towards things that make me feel good.
Yeah.
And that's just a big cultural thing, I think, especially with Americans.
I think one thing that we have in common when it comes to this specific topic
Mm-hmm.
is we both do things, whatever we're doing it with a lot of passion and attention.
That's it.
So it's very hard for us to do more, like give a lot of energy to other stuff while we're doing that, right? Like if it's work, then work's getting the freaking attention. If it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's so that's just the type of people we are. It's hard to stop, get off one thing and do another,
I get upset, dude. I get angry. Like if I'm in the middle of doing something and I'm in it.
Yeah.
I can't take 10 minutes to think about something else. Like there's something inside of me. I'm like, what? I completely have a pattern. Like I go brain dead almost. Like I have a big brain fart and I have no idea how to manage those emotions.
Yeah.
Time management also goes along with, I would think, now that I'm talking about it out loud with everybody here, is it kind of goes with anger management. I think I'm a pissed off individual most of the time, man, and I don't like it. The only reason I bring it up is just because of kind of the pre-show shit, like I want to be a better person every day, man, and time management is one of them. But I think if hopefully I get time management down a little bit better, it would help me with other aspects. I just don't know. Being able to prioritize my recovery or just things that I need to work on myself as an individual and not give all my time to everybody else.
Yeah, I think that the lack of time obviously plays a role in frustration in life, right? I mean, you just run out of you run out of time, man. You literally run out of time. I mean, the other night, man, I went and picked my daughter up. I had my daughter for the night, picked her up. I came home and got her food. I mean, I sat down and still had my coat on. I looked at time. It's like 6:30 at night. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, he ate anything? It's like,
you haven't done anything for yourself yet.
Nothing, not a damn thing, and I now I gotta jam something in my fat face. I gotta wash my ass, and then I gotta go to bed so I can do it all over again, right?
Yeah, that's tough, man. I mean, for me, man, I don't even like when I get caught up in all that shit, dude. Like I just I have a hard time seeing the bigger picture because I feel like I see a different bigger picture, and I don't agree with the wheel that's moving, right?
Yeah,
that we're trying to keep moving. I think I don't agree with it, but that's the way it is. So
yeah.
there's just this constant tension. It's constant tension.
Yeah. So I got a couple tips that I found that I'd love to read, and then we can kind of go off of them. I went through pretty much maybe like 55 different suggested tips for personal and professional that you can add to whatever part of your life. Like I said, personal and professional. I'll just start from the top, and this is in no priority order.
All right. Why don't you take the driver's seat, and then let's get this one. Let's get this segment going. I like this. I want to hear what you got to say, bud.
Okay, so let me start with number 1. Know how you're spending your time. Know how you spend your time, right? So this was very interesting to me. I'm like, how the hell would I know? You know what I mean? But what it tells you to do is to take a log of like 15-minute intervals, if you can, or if it's not feasible, half an hour or whatever, for a whole week, and write down what you are doing with your time, right?
I'd be scared to do that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's why, right. Did you get everything done that you wanted to get done? Which tasks required the most time? What are you spending the most time on? What time of the day are you most productive? Right. Mm-hmm. We all have that sweet spot where we're just freaking rolling. Mine's the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, mine like 8 to 10 p.m. I'm freaking killing it.
8 to 10 p.m.
or 8. Jesus. See, obviously my time's in the morning because I can't even speak. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
I got
yes.
I was gonna say, dude, you're a hell of an employee.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, hey, man, sometimes that happens. You know what I mean?
All right. So hold on. Let me touch on this one real quick because I think I can relate to that also, because dude, there's some days that I can listen. You give me a solid 3 to 4 hours, and when I'm in my zone, I promise you, in my job and my role and what I do, if there was a next person the same exact role, I could knock out 8 hours worth of work in 4 hours.
Well, I mean, that's the military gift, right? Or that's the Marine Corps gift. Like, we know how to front load or
Yes.
backload work. Like, you look at somebody at work and you watch them freaking, struggling all day, and you're like, dude, I'm saving the last 2 hours of the day or whatever. I'm gonna blow this shit out of the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just know how to do it.
Yep.
Right? Like, you could.
It's like a confidence that you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just know when I look at this pile of crap that I have to do,
I'm gonna do it.
know that I can accomplish that in 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So, but what I thought about with this first tip is like, what will you see when you write your stuff down? Like, how much time do you actually spend like jacking around with your phone? Or, you know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like, we always say like, oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have time. How much time do we spend hypnotized in that freaking death box that we carry around with us, right?
Hours a day.
Hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they tell you to write that down, take accountability, actually look at what you're doing, right? How much time are you actually working, or how much time are you actually dedicating to spend time with your family, significant other, whatever?
Right. What's all right? So what's the next one?
So second one is set priorities. So after you find out, write down what you're doing. You want to set your priorities, right? You got to figure out, okay, obviously, what do I got to do first? So for most people, it's family, work, or one and the same. Or if you don't have family, it's work.
Yep.
Or work, or their pets. Some people's pets are their family.
Yep.
But the main thing is whatever you're trying to get done, you prioritize what's the most important to you. All right. The next one is use a planning tool. So it's basically what they say is it's a simple, what I do is use a pad of paper, right? Yep. Because my brain's all over the place 24 hours a day. So, I mean, every email I get, every phone call I have 52 suppliers. Jesus. And like 600 components that I manage. I get emails and calls all the time, people walking up to my desk. I write down everything that I have done, everything I have to do. If I've sent an email, everything. And then I do the same thing before I leave work. So it's sitting there at my desk when I get there in the morning, so I can see, because I know I'm data dumping that as soon as I leave.
Oh yeah. As soon as the clock, the time card's punched, I have no idea what I did all day.
Right. 100%. So I sit down in the morning and I look at this list. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. I got to call this person right now.
Yeah.
So you can use it. I mean, nowadays technology is wherever, and they have so many different planning tools you can use.
Technology is huge. And the job that I have now is the first professional civilian job that I've had any type of client management, was a client management relationship CRM or client relationship management tool. Yes. I've never used any type of technology to manage anything. People will just figure it out, and dude, like, I'm the worst person when it comes to that. I'm like, all right, like, I got the gift of gab. That's about it. Like, I can't. It's hard to manage that, dude. So I'm thankful for the company that I have. It's really cool because I can set all my stuff on my dashboard. Like you write your stuff down. I was always like that, but now I have a technology where I can just input it and set the right, click the right things. And when I show up the next day, it's got everything that I did yesterday. I can go back and look at all the old emails on one platform. I don't have to jump around. I can see everything right there. Okay. Oh, I sent this guy an email 3 days ago and he hasn't gotten back to me. Okay. Oh, it changes the conversation. Right. So when I go see my to-do list, I go and check that out. I'm like, oh wait, I could either call him and say this. Oh wait, I guess he already responded, and this is how I got to have to approach the next conversation in terms of a sales touch.
Right.
So it's been incredible. I've already excelled beyond any job that I've ever had as a civilian just in 8 months.
Yeah. Well, so number 4 is get organized, and I think this is pushing towards the professional direction, right? Like, so if you're having trouble at work, time management, you're talking about, obviously don't have shit laying everywhere. Know the things that you use for your job ready and available in a place that you can get to them. Emails. I mean, if I opened up somebody's random email, how much of it would be organized to where they can find it, like by supplier or by customer? Right? I mean, most people have like 3,000 in their inbox,
and they just probably search by the company, and then they sift through a bunch of emails. Yeah,
right. So like I said, I have 52 suppliers, so I have a folder for each supplier. I have stuff color coded. It has to be that way. You get some kind of system going like that. Even in my emails, I have a folder for each supplier in my email. So every time I get an email from that supplier, it goes right into the folder for that. So number 5 is schedule appropriately. So
I mean, yeah, it's the same as,
to me, it's setting priorities,
Yeah, setting priorities. Right back to priorities. Yeah.
Yeah. So just make sure that you are putting stuff that is going to require the most time, and that is top priority in the right spot. Yeah. Don't or in other words, don't just go, I have a ton of shit to do tomorrow, right? And then that's it. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, what am I going to do first?
Well, all right. So like I do that. Sometimes I'll do that. Like I know I have a lot to do, and I'm like, all right, I'll just spend the first hour. I know I have a lot to do. I'll take the first hour. I'm going to put it on paper, and then I'm going to execute. Like I'm going to figure out, okay, where do I go first? Right. So I don't necessarily do it the night before all the time. I try to get into that, but I'm undisciplined. And I have to give myself an extra hour in the morning. And listen, if I don't do that extra hour in the morning, dude, I'm screwed. I'm always trying to play catch up throughout my day. And I've noticed that because I mean, some days I'm rocking 4 meetings a day.
Yeah.
Every day. Right. Yeah. And so I've literally at a default, Matt, I've had to become more organized in my professional setting. It just hasn't trickled into the personal yet.
Well, I mean, and listen, everybody struggles with that, right? A lot of people, that's very common for a lot of people is they can be organized at work because guess what? I have to be, otherwise I'll lose my friggin' job. Right.
Yeah, right.
And then at home you get a little bit more slack. Like, and that's probably where a lot of people are lacking is time management at home, right? Because it's not mandatory, right?
And what's not mandatory also is I don't think on average, I don't think people prioritize themselves into their plan.
We're going to get to that.
So therefore, when, the work stuff's done and they're like, well, why can't I figure this out here? Because I think they're just trying to figure out to feel better, right? Mm-hmm. Like trying to relax, but then all of a sudden they're like, you have all this other shit. And then it's a storm.
Yeah. So number 6 is delegate or get help from others, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, how many times have you heard someone say like, you can't do this alone. You can't do everything by yourself, right? You see, we all know the person that takes the freaking world on their shoulders and doesn't ask help from anybody.
Right.
And then, obviously eventually they crack, so especially in the work environment, delegate or asking for help, even in the personal, in your personal world, asking family members for help or friends, just not taking the
kind of just setting your ego aside and understand that you don't have to have it figured out. And that, if you have a decent support system or at least anybody around you, they're going to understand.
Yeah. Number 7 is a great one. Stop procrastinating.
All right.
Yeah.
You just might as well call that Andrew Turner.
Well, I do. That's everybody. I'm not saying everybody because there's some like real hard chargers out there who just seize the day every freaking day, like John Daly or whatever. But most people procrastinate. So we all know the great quote about procrastination, right?
I don't know if I do.
It said, I'm not going to say it. Your mom's procrastination is like masturbation. In the end, you just end up effing yourself.
Oh, that's a good one, man. I like that one, bro. Procrastination is like masturbation. At the end, you end up effing yourself.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. You guys hear that out there?
I think they did. But it's true, and
You're right.
that's the thing. Like, so if you're procrastinating and you're complaining about I don't have enough time, it's
Well, it goes right back to just doing your little time evaluation thing.
Yeah.
What do we
Just
got
doing
next?
time, right? If you know you got to get stuff done, get it done. All
Get it
right.
done.
Number 8 is manage time wasters. This is hard, man. Let me tell you.
The people that come in and like, oh Jesus,
Let me give you some
I would have
example.
never thought of that.
Handheld devices. What do we just talk about? Phones, right? Or whatever you're doing. All right. Phones now are like the downfall of society as we know it. I mean, you go into freaking restaurants and you'll see a family of 4 looking at their phones. It's absolutely amazing.
I hate that at a restaurant. They're all
right, or a couple that are sitting there across from each other staring at their phones.
Date night.
Right? Yeah. Look at my food. Look at this. But
2 furs at Applebee's.
a big one is TV too. Tina keeps bringing it up. TV is a big one.
Okay.
Because just like she mentioned in her comment, it's an escape, right?
So with those escapes and watching, we've brought up on the show before, Andrew Huberman. All those things are dopamine releases that we're getting. Constant. We're trying to get those constant dopamine releases of like, oh, I like this. This is exciting me. This is good. And that's what all technology, phones, TVs, entertainment, that's what it's doing.
Right.
Constantly.
So you have to put yourself in that priority, right?
Yeah.
And prioritize yourself. And you said it, dude. Like, if you're not prioritizing yourself and setting aside time where you can refill your tank, I know a lot of adults, like a lot of moms, right? They stay up well past everybody goes to bed. They spend that hour by themselves downstairs watching, their soap operas or whatever, because that's their time to just replenish. Not hear anything from anybody. No one needs anything. Just their time. So you have to put yourself in there. You have to if you give everything and get back nothing, you're going to have nothing to give eventually. You're going to burn out, right? Number 9 is interesting. Avoid multitasking. And this kind of goes in the face of what you hear a lot, right? Like, oh, you can't multitask, you can't do this. Well, psychological studies show that multitasking does not save time. It does not save time.
No, not at all. I think focused and I'm learning this in the last year of the job. Focused activity and work towards one thing, whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
right?
It's better than an hour of trying to multitask 2-3 different things.
Yes.
You're gonna get further in whatever you're trying to do if you can just focus on that one thing and then move on to something else. And I'm not saying that I speak confidently about it because I feel like I understand it, but I don't necessarily input that logic into my everyday life.
Well, I mean, you're right on track, according to this psychologist who says that studies show that switching from one task to another actually loses time more than you gain time. If you just
for me, like, so how I equate this in my own brain is that, like, so I do, like, with my job, like I'm also good at like the social media side of certain things, and like I can help people that don't know much about it, right? So if I'm tasked to like doing certain things, or if I'm working on one thing and then I get interrupted to have to do something else, dude, it takes me, if I have to switch my brain momentum from focusing on, say, business development to marketing, let's say, and people say they're one and one, they're not. They're completely 2 different things. Sales and marketing are completely 2 different worlds. However, they do sometimes intersect. But being able to switch your brain off from okay, I'm business development, this is how I have to execute, this is how I have to approach things, to a marketing standpoint of, okay, now I'm looking at selling the broad picture on a larger scale and getting the big message out versus like tailoring messages for individual people is different. It's harder. It's harder to switch your brain on and off from that.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, a good focused effort on whatever that priority is.
Yeah.
Again, if it's yourself, then stop freaking doing other stuff when you're supposed to be,
Right.
Relaxing, taking a break.
Yep.
The last one, number 10, is an absolutely vital one. It's stay healthy. And when you say stay healthy, it's not just physically, right? It's mental too.
Yep.
How many times, people lose their minds every day. I do sometimes, you do sometimes. Again, not prioritizing yourself and taking care of yourself physically and mentally, you're hurting yourself, right? You're hurting yourself. Your performance overall goes down. Your girlfriend or your significant other gets less of a version of you. Your boss in your work gets less of a version of you. So staying healthy. And obviously, if you're sick or you're broken or whatever, you can't get shit done.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of yourself.
Dude, that was a great list. I appreciate you. You know what we should do? We should take that list afterwards and let's put it in when we go and do our edits and everything like that. Let's put that list in the comments below. So if people want to, when they watch the episode after, they can just see the list below.
Yeah.
So brother, I have a little bit right before we go to our saved rounds and our closing for the evening. I have a special buddy check I would like to do.
Buddy check. A healthy network is a strong network.
Oh, woo!
Yeah,
I like it.
It's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be using the on-call system that we do have. I'm going to be going old school here. I'm going with the cell phone.
Okay.
I'm hoping this person picks up. I think this person should be watching, but it's a very special day for a very special person. I would like to give them their 15 minutes of fame on the Disarranged Talk Show Network. So
you can tell us who it is.
Yeah, I probably should before I call, right? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's January 13th, Friday the 13th. It is my grandmother's 80th birthday today.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, happy birthday. I hope she enjoyed my masturbation analogy. That's great. Thanks for not stopping me on that one.
Well, listen, bud, this is we're in America and we're just living the dream right now. So let's give Gma a call and wish her a happy birthday.
That's awesome.
She's probably watching right now, realizing I'm calling her.
Yeah, she's probably gonna ghost you.
Hi there.
Hello, Graham. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I want you to know you are live right now on the Disarranged Talk Show.
Happy birthday, Grandma.
I didn't know you were calling me from there.
I know. Yes, I'm actually. So you can see me. I can't see you. But Matthew and I wanted to call you and wish you a happy 80th birthday from the Disarranged Talk Show. And we wanted to ask how your day was and how was dinner?
My day was absolutely beautiful. My dinner was spectacular, but I had a beautiful, beautiful surprise and talked to all of my children, my grandchildren, and some of my great-grandchildren were with me.
Wow.
And it was just spectacular. Had a happy, glorious day.
Awesome.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Grandma, can you share with us what the surprise was?
Well, I had videos from all kinds of friends and relatives. It was all on video, and you can go to YouTube and you can watch it. Everybody can watch it. Wanda Turner's 80th birthday.
Awesome.
And it'll come up. So you can search it there, and you can see everyone that talked to me. Okay,
so now everybody listen, you can go to YouTube right now and type in Wanda Turner's 80th birthday. It's going to be under Tom Cantwell's YouTube page. We'll obviously also provide the link and everything down below. But Graham, it's we appreciate you taking our call. I love you very much. I wish I could have been with you, but I'm very hopeful that I'll see you very soon.
Happy birthday, Grandma. Have a great night.
Well, thank you very much. And Matt says happy birthday and have a good evening.
Thank you, Matt. Love you guys. God
Love
bless.
you. God bless you.
Grandma. Thank you for supporting.
Amen.
Amen. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There it is, bud.
Nah, dude, that was lovely.
Nah, it's cool. Yeah. So like all the every grandkid and the parents of the great grandchildren, and friends and families over the last 80 years, we all the last week we all put together little videos and we sent them to my cousin Tom, and Tom made a kick-ass video for my grandmother, and they surprised her with it at dinner tonight. So they
It's fantastic.
she got to see friends and family from the last 80 years, if you will. So that was pretty cool.
That's one of the bright spots of technology.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's forever going to be on there. It's forever going to, her 80th birthday will forever be shared on the internet.
That's great.
And it will always be a part of our show too. So we're thankful for doing that, bud. But do you have any saved rounds before we close out?
I do not, sir. I'm ready to start this weekend. And get some relaxation, get some prioritized time managed sitting on my ass.
Very good. So you're going to prioritize that.
Right. Hey, man, it's happening. I don't even have to write it down. It's happening. So,
well, listen, man, thank you for making it to episode 50 with me.
Yes, sir.
And everybody out there, you all right now, or whether it's live with us or later on, thank you for joining Matt and I on this wild adventure that we call Disarranged. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to YouTube. We're trying to get up to 1,000 this year. And thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And don't forget, guys, a healthy network is a strong network. And take care. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.